Welcome to Quiet Harbor, the gentle edge of the day where everything begins to soften. I'm your host, Noah, and I'm so glad you're here. This is your place to slow down, to loosen your grip on whatever you've been holding, and to let the evening carry you somewhere calm and steady. Before we step into tonight's story, take a quiet moment for yourself. Let your breathing settle into a natural rhythm. Notice the weight of your body where it rests. Feel the support beneath you. Steady, reliable, asking nothing in return. If there's any tension in your shoulders or your jaw, allow it to melt just a little. With each slow exhale, imagine the noise of the day dimming, like shop lights turning off one by one. Tonight, we'll wander into a small village as it prepares for night. We'll stand in its square where the fountain still runs, watch as bakers sweep their steps and grocers carry in their crates. See windows glow warmly above quiet streets. The church bell will mark the hour. Lamps will flicker on, and the scent of wood smoke will drift through still air. It's a story about transition, the gentle closing of doors, the softening of voices, the steady rhythm of a community settling inward together. There's no rush here, no urgency, just the comforting pattern of evening routines unfolding exactly as they should. As you listen, let the images come and go naturally. You don't need to hold on to them. If your thoughts wander, that's perfectly all right. Simply guide your attention back to the sound of my voice, back to the steady breath moving in and out, back to the village square as daylight fades. Now the sky is turning from gold to blue, and the first lamps are beginning to glow. Let's step quietly into the village that prepares for night. The square sits at the village's heart, and this is where the evening's transition begins. The fountain at its center still runs, water splashing gently from its upper basin to the pool below, catching the last of the daylight. Around the square, shops line three sides, their windows bright with interior light, even though most have already closed for the day. On the fourth side stands the church, its stone facade darkened by age and weather, its bell tower rising above everything else. Silent now, but present, marking time even in its quiet. A woman sweeps the step in front of the bakery, the bristles making soft scratching sounds against the stone. She works methodically, gathering the day's tracked-in dirt and leaves into a small pile, then collecting it into a dustpan. The window behind her shows empty shelves where bread sat this morning, all of it sold, the day's work complete. She finishes sweeping, steps inside, and turns the sign on the door. Open becomes closed. The simple declaration that this space has served its purpose for today and will rest until tomorrow. Across the square, the grocer is bringing in the produce bins that sat outside all day. Crates of apples, baskets of root vegetables, bundles of herbs. One by one, he carries them inside, his movements practiced and efficient. The routine of closing so familiar, it requires no thought. When the last crate is inside, he stands for a moment looking at his shop, perhaps mentally checking that everything is secure, that nothing has been forgotten. Satisfied, he turns off the interior lights, leaving only a small lamp burning in the back, then locks the door and walks away, heading toward home. The light is changing minute by minute, the sun already below the horizon, the sky holding on to its colors, but beginning to darken at the edges. Where the sunset still glows, the clouds are pink and orange. Where night is arriving, they're deep purple and gray. The village sits in this gradient, bathed in soft light that's neither quite day nor quite night, but something in between. A cat walks along a windowsill, silhouetted against the light from inside. It pauses, sits, begins to clean itself with that thorough attention cats give to such tasks. Below, a dog trots down the street, collar jingling, heading home from wherever it has spent its day. The cat watches the dog pass but shows no alarm, just mild interest, then returns to its grooming. In the café on the corner, the last customers are finishing their drinks. Through the window you can see them, 3 elderly men around a small table, talking and gesturing, their coffee cups nearly empty. The café owner moves behind the counter, wiping down surfaces, putting away cups and saucers, beginning the process of cleaning up. She doesn't rush the men, doesn't give any sign that she wants them to leave. She simply works around them, allowing them to finish their conversation at their own pace, to take their time with the transition from socializing to heading home. A bicycle leans against a lamppost, waiting for its owner. The lamppost itself isn't lit yet. It's not quite dark enough, but the mechanism that controls it is preparing, sensing the diminishing light, counting down to the moment when illumination will be necessary. All over the village, these lamps wait, ready to offer their light when the time comes. Children's voices carry from somewhere nearby, laughter and calling, the sounds of play continuing even as evening settles in. A mother appears in a doorway, calling a name, and the voices pause. You hear a response, a promise of, "In a minute," and then the play resumes, stealing these last few moments before supper and homework and bedtime routines begin their inevitable progression. The butcher shop is dark now, its work done hours ago. But the bookshop beside it still has lights burning, and through its window you can see someone browsing the shelves, taking their time, in no hurry to finish their selection. The bookseller sits behind the counter reading, looking up occasionally to check on his customer, but otherwise absorbed in his own book, sharing the quiet companionship of the shop's space. A woman walks down the street, carrying a basket of laundry, clean clothes folded inside. Returning from the laundrette at the village edge, she stops to speak with a neighbor, and they talk for a few moments, exchanging news or pleasantries, then part with smiles and continue on their separate ways. These small interactions happen throughout the village, people crossing paths, acknowledging each other, maintaining the web of connection that makes a place like this more than just buildings and streets, that makes it a community. The square's fountain continues its steady splash, the water catching what light remains, turning silver and then dark as shadows deepen. A few pigeons land on its rim, drinking, then launching themselves back into the air to roost somewhere for the night. The water they disturbed settles quickly, returning to its calm surface, ready for the next visitor. Smoke rises from chimneys now, thin gray columns that climb straight up in the still air. The evening is calm, no wind to speak of, allowing the smoke to rise undisturbed until it dissipates high above the rooftops. The smell of burning wood drifts down, mixing with other cooking smells, onions frying, bread baking late for someone's supper. Something savory and rich that makes you think of stews or casseroles, of comfort food prepared with care. The pharmacy closes, its neon sign going dark, leaving only the sign for the pub next door, a painted wooden board hanging from wrought iron, swinging slightly, though there's no wind to move it. The pub's windows glow warmly, and through them you can see people gathering at the bar and at tables, the evening crowd arriving, seeking company and conversation, a pint and perhaps some supper. Laughter spills out when the door opens, then muffles again when it closes, contained within the thick stone walls. A man unlocks his car, parked along the square's edge, but doesn't get in immediately. Instead, he stands, looking up at the sky, watching the colors fade and the darkness deepen. Perhaps he's reluctant to leave the village, to drive back to wherever he came from. Or perhaps he's simply appreciating the evening, taking a moment to observe the beauty of this transition time. Eventually he gets in, starts the engine, and drives slowly away, his taillights disappearing around a corner. The lamps along the square come on, all at once, as if responding to a single signal. Their light is warm and yellow, not bright enough to banish the evening's dimness, but sufficient to mark the paths, to ensure safety, to add their gentle glow to the gradually darkening scene. The fountain looks different in this light, more dramatic, the water's movement more pronounced as it catches the lamplight and throws it back in sparkling drops. Windows light up in the apartments above the shops, one by one. These are people's homes, stacked above the commercial spaces, part of the village's vertical integration. You see movement in these windows. Someone passing through a room, someone pulling curtains closed, someone standing at the window, looking down at the square, perhaps thinking similar thoughts to yours, observing the evening's progression, feeling part of the village's communal settling. The cafe's last customers finally stand, put on their coats, and say their goodbyes to the owner. She sees them to the door, locks it behind them, and turns the sign. Then she moves through the space, turning off lights systematically, leaving only a few burning in the back, where she'll finish her cleaning. The men stand on the sidewalk for a moment, continuing their conversation, then shake hands and walk off in different directions, heading home. A bell rings, the church bell, marking the hour. 8 slow tolls that echo across the square, their sound solemn and beautiful. A voice from the past speaking to the present. The bell has rung this way every evening for longer than anyone remembers, marking time, calling attention to its passing, reminding everyone that the day moves forward, that evening has arrived, that night will soon follow. After the bell falls silent, the square seems quieter somehow, as if the sound has cleared space for a deeper quiet to settle in. The fountain's splash continues, and distant voices still carry from various directions. But the overall impression is of sound diminishing, of the village turning inward, beginning its nightly retreat into privacy and rest. The bookshop customer emerges with a small bag, a satisfied expression on their face. The bookseller appears in the doorway, seeing them off, then locks the door and begins his own closing routine. Lights off, register counted, tomorrow's display arranged. Through the window, you see him moving efficiently through these tasks, then exiting through a back door, leaving the shop dark and silent until morning calls it back to life. More people appear on the streets, but they're moving with purpose now, going home rather than lingering, walking quickly rather than strolling. The evening has shifted, crossed some invisible line from leisure time to home time, and everyone feels it, responds to it, begins their individual migrations toward their individual doors and the warmth and privacy that wait behind them. A mother and child walk hand in hand, the child skipping occasionally, the mother's pace steady and patient. They stop at a corner to look both ways, even though no traffic moves on the streets. It's a teaching moment, a practiced caution, a small ritual of safety that the mother performs automatically, and the child will someday perform with their own children. They cross and continue, disappearing into a side street, their footsteps fading. The pub's door opens again, and music spills out briefly. Someone has started playing an instrument inside, maybe a guitar, and voices are joining in, singing something familiar. The door closes, containing the music, but the knowledge of it remains. The sense that inside that building, warmth and fellowship continue, that not everyone has retreated yet, that the village's communal heart still beats in that lit space with its music and conversation. Lights continue appearing in windows, more and more of them, creating a constellation of warm points throughout the village. Each light represents a home, a family or individual settling in, beginning their evening routines. Some windows show movement, shadows passing. Others remain still, the occupants sitting down to supper perhaps, or already settled with books or television or conversation. The sky is nearly dark now, the last traces of sunset fading at the horizon, giving way to deep blue and then black. Stars appear one by one, scattered across the expanding darkness, their light faint against the village's own lights, but gradually growing more visible as your eyes adjust. The first star, then the second, then too many to count, as the full majesty of the night sky begins to reveal itself. A few windows darken as people who rose early, who worked hard through the day, begin preparing for bed. These early sleepers contribute to the village's rhythm, varying its pace, ensuring that not everyone moves in lockstep, but that each person follows their own needs, their own schedule, creating a harmony through diversity rather than uniformity. The fountain's splash is more audible now, fewer other sounds competing with it. Water falling, water splashing, water flowing, constant and reliable. A sound that will continue through the night, through the empty hours when everyone sleeps, maintaining its patient work regardless of whether anyone is present to hear it. One last shop closes, the hardware store, its proprietor emerging with keys, locking up carefully, testing the door to be sure. He turns and walks slowly down the street, in no hurry now that his work is complete. Just a man making his way home, becoming part of the evening's general movement toward rest and restoration. The village has transformed. What was busy and active just hours ago is now quiet and settled. Its energy pulled inside, held within homes rather than expressed in streets and squares. This is how it happens every evening. This gradual withdrawal, this collective agreement that the day is done and the night is for other things, for rest, for privacy, for the small domestic rituals that sustain and comfort. And the night accepts this offering, this surrender to its terms. The darkness deepens without threat. The stars shine without coldness. The lamps glow without demanding attention. The village sleeps, or prepares for sleep, or continues its quiet evening activities behind closed doors. And the night watches over it all, patient and eternal, holding space for rest, holding darkness so that light will mean something when it returns. Good night.